Welcome, precious souls. I am so stiff and sore right now. With a snowstorm going on, I just did another round for hours of snow, and everything hurts. And I've always been very prideful about authenticity. I preach it and I am it, and there are so many people that really just don't get it because I smile through the most difficult times, because I laugh and roll with the punches when life is kicking the crap out of me with challenges. People really think I've got it so easy. In April, it'll be 2 years that I've done this by myself, and I've had multiple narcissistic friends, you name it, bosses that I've had to contend with. And I'm still laughing, and my heart is still loving, and I still have hope and faith. And sometimes, I've always been the one who I just stay strong. I'm just strong because of the life I've had. I have been through so much, and I will validate that for myself. I used to just say, oh, it's nothing. No, I felt like the counselor for almost every single person I've ever invited into my world. Not all, but certainly most. Sometimes you get tired, and you just feel like, what the hell, but nothing will ever let me give up on me. And like I said, 2 years of this, it took many, many, many times of 9 years of massive, insane psychological, financial, physical, emotional, every kind of abuse. And I left over and over and over, and sometimes got kicked out, sometimes got bullied out. But 2 years ago, I finally said, I broke the trauma bond. And that was tough because there's a lot of psychological games. They're like cult leaders. And I did it. And I broke free, and I have been up against it. Like, I was doing really good because I prepared for it this time. I did everything I could to set myself up for being able to deal with it and not be drawn back. I bought all my own tools. I had what I thought was an amazing car that would get me through the next few years, and it was a complete lemon. I think I put 30 grand in it since. I've had crooked lawyers, crooked legal systems, crooked counselors, like crooked tenants that demolished the place. Crooked, crooked, crooked. And I have been challenged because I know life has a huge, important purpose. And it's mostly just to choose myself over and over, no matter what, and to share my story so that other people will do it. So it's not all rainbows and butterflies to really break the generational curses, especially, I can only speak from the women's side because I'm a woman, but the way that women used to be treated by men, the way they'd be so submissive, the way they'd roll over and play dead and forego all of their dreams, all of their aspirations, to sit at home and raise kids and do as they're told as wives. Like, and you know what? Yeah, I'm damn picky. Now I can count on less than one hand how many people I would consider friends, because I will only be around people who are authentic and who don't take advantage of me and my kind heart. And that took some hard lessons. I mean, I'm not going to lie, right up to even last year, so many people were just taking advantage of me, but I had to come to terms with the fact that I was allowing it. This is important, guys. We allow it. We have to take our own accountability. Who cares if others take accountability? We have the final say of who we let in our space. And what I'm trying to say is, and it's a little jumbled because I hurt everywhere and I'm so tired of everything right now, but who are we really going to settle just so that we have somebody to help take the load off? Hell no, I'm not. And I know it'll be worth it in the end because I know out there somewhere, I'm not a fool. I'm actually quite intelligent. I've been through it and I've learned so much in life because of it. And I've learned how to do things for myself. But I know that somewhere out there, there is a male species that isn't a narcissist, that isn't a predator, that isn't a wife beater or an abuser or a nasty, conniving manipulator. I know there's some man out there, I know there's many that are going through the same crap as me. In fact, they're going through the same crap where they've had women just constantly take them for all they've got, set them up to fail, want to see them cleaned out of everything, want to see them codependent, all of those things. And I know that I'm going to keep shoveling the snow 5 feet, 10 feet deep, all by myself. I'm going to keep fixing my own stuff. I have people that approach me that want to get in there and love bomb and fix things. It's like, just get away from me. I can smell you a mile away. You know what I mean? And I'm keeping it real, guys, because everybody sees the smile on my face. The smile is just, it's just there. The harder it gets, the more I go, I'm going to laugh through this. And tomorrow is a brand new day because I will not let anybody steal what I've earned. I'm not going to stop. I've come this far. Do you know what I mean? And I hope anybody who's going through it, the same as me, who's left horrible abuse and finally chosen themselves, will never, ever go back to that. I don't care. There's sometimes I'm scraping my coins together that I had saved a whole bunch of different kinds of coins from different countries and different fancy ones for my daughter. I wanted her to have the whole collection, and I still haven't touched them. But there was times in like the last little while where, you know, I do everything I can to make and generate money because I'm extremely creative. I do paintings and I've sold them for peanuts just to get by because I will not settle for someone who wants me to just be their doormat or to, I don't need another project for a spouse in my life. I don't need another unhealed person. But I've rolled up coins and boy, you know, I've done really good. I'm still eating. I'm still paying the bills. Sometimes it's nip and tuck, right? But I gave up all my jobs, all of the horrible people that were trying to, one boss would be trying to get me fired because he didn't like that I wouldn't, he was very, very, very bullying. He didn't like that I would call him out in a very responsible, diplomatic way, but I'd say, that's not right, you know? And the other boss telling me, well, he's trying to get you fired. Like, what? Who does this? And then they were shocked that I just said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to keep doing this. And I was getting paid pretty good. You know, well, I mean, like, I was getting paid, at least I had a paycheck. I gave up my other job where I was on call 24/7 because it was still connected to my ex. I don't want anything that's connected to anybody who's reached this point gets me right now. Okay? Someone can show up and give me a little bit of attention and think they're going to just win me over. It's like, no, you know what? I know who I am and I know what I fought for. I know my attributes. I know I worked hard. I worked hard to make everybody else happy. I built houses that my ex is still living in with other women. My dream home on the lake. You see this shirt? You see this shirt? I used to buy a shirt for that town that I built that house in. And every time I bought a shirt from that, when I was allowed back in my home, every time I just get the shirt and boom, there'd be a big fight created from the other side and I'd be out on my butt. I had to quit buying shirts. I'm surprised I'm even wearing it now, but you know why? Because I had to let things go. I had to cut all my losses, all of them, all of my losses, because you can't buy me. You can't destroy me. You can't kill me. You can't make me want to unalive me. You can't take what I've got inside, which is a fighting spirit to be happy. Isn't that an interesting thing to say? I fight to stay happy. I fight to stay in love. That's a fight worth fighting, isn't it now? And I just feel like I had to say that. I'm already feeling better. See, I just energized myself. I'm hurting. I'm not gonna lie. I've shoveled more snow than I can even explain. I think my driveway holds 9 cars. Well, it used to. I can't get the shovel up the piles any higher. But anyways, I just feel like I had to share that. I'm not afraid anymore because I've literally danced with the devil and came out on the other side, and nothing will ever make me settle. And I know that my my determination, now that it's being applied to myself instead of always taking care of everybody else, now that I'm giving that energy, that devotion, and that love to myself, mark my words, my life is going to be absolutely amazing at the end of this. Well, is there really an end? It's always a new beginning, right? So for anybody who's, and if you've never been through massive abuse, narcissistic abuse, this does not pertain to you. And I'm so grateful that you haven't been, because no one understands what it's like to have your entire life and body and mind and heart ripped right out because you are so trusting and kind, and there are predators out there that will destroy you for the sake of destroying you because they have mommy and daddy issues or whatever, and they prey on empaths and nurturing people because they know they won't give up. They're determined to just help a little more, be a little more, do a little more. And yeah, that ate up most of my life. And that's how I know that once I started devoting it to me, and I will make the sacrifices necessary to never fall back on that, I'm showing up for me. And if you're going through this, just never give up. You are right there. And there was a time where I got so tired of hearing, other readers online. They're like, "You're right there. Your abundance is coming in." And I mean, month after month after month. But I didn't care because I've always been grateful for everything. Everything in life, always been grateful. I never took anything for granted, and I will say that. But I mean, I get excited over a fresh apple because I literally didn't have a lot of food. I get excited when a bill is paid because I had to give up. I lost a lot because I allowed all these people into my life that kept taking and taking, and they didn't. The takers have to have limits or the givers have to have limits because the takers don't. But I didn't have any limits. I would just give and give because my heart was so big. It's like I had to learn a very hard lesson, and the lesson was choosing me and devote this, my energy, what's left of my tired hands. I've built houses. I've cleared acres and acres of land. I was always conned. Okay, I was easily conned in a day to do all of the hard work for everybody else. And what's left of me is doing it for me. Do I think that's selfish? Absolutely not. And I will wait until someone who's been through similar situation will appreciate an apple as much as I do, will appreciate when I do something for them as much as I would appreciate, just amazed that someone would do something kind for me with no strings attached. Huh? What a magical existence. I dream of that each night when I lay my tired body down and I don't know how I'm going to keep going. And I go, you know what? One day I will have somebody massaging my back and I will be massaging their back. And it won't matter that I shoveled 10 tons of snow. Which, by the way, I was thinking, okay, I was really lucky before a really dear friend of mine passed away. They had given me a snowblower because they said, you're single, you don't want to be always shoveling like this, you can't. And so it was there, and they were going to come back, and I'll admit, I've never used one, but I'm pretty mechanically inclined enough. My brain works, I can figure shit out, okay? But they never showed me because they passed away before they came back to show me how to use it. The snow was so much out there that I went in my head as I'm clearing more and more to get around to it, because I built a shed over it to keep it guarded and safe. But I thought, I've got to go clear another layer of snow off that, keep it safe, and maybe I'll use it, and I'll look at it, and I'll figure out how to use this silly thing to get the snow blowing higher, because the banks are like 10 feet all over my property. And I literally thought it, and then 2 minutes later, while I was doing some steps, it caved in. I've got cuts and bruises from digging it out. Oh, you can't see it. I dug it all out. I tore it apart because there was like this much snow on it, which I had cleared the other day, by the way. Now it's this. And I'm like, okay, see you in the spring. But that determination is like, no, I'm going to dig this out. And I literally rebuilt the whole thing. It's still snowing. And I dug it out and I tried to figure it out. But I couldn't get it going, even though to me, it looked like, okay, I could figure out where the choke was and all that stuff, but it just wouldn't start. Maybe because it sat so long, or who knows, maybe because the last person I let touch it didn't, I'm sure would love to see me fail sometimes, so that I'm codependent, but it's not happening. So I parked it again, and but while it was daylight, I took a whole bunch of pictures of everything, and I'm going to go research this online, because I'm not giving up, because I'm here for me. But one day it will be nice to be to be able to just be not so strong. But right now I'm strong, and I'm strong for me. One day I know I'll have somebody be strong enough that they will let me just have my crumbling moments, and I will be strong for them. But I will never ever go back to settling to somebody, because I know what the outcome is of that. I already know how that ends up when you settle or loosen your boundaries. And I'll never do that again. And I hope you never do, sweet soul. I hope you never settle, because we deserve to shine. And narcissists often do prey on people who have some pretty big purposes in life. Keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to stop this video before it stops me. It cuts off. And then I'm going to get back on here, and I'm going to do a general reading. And I'm here for you guys. Take care, keep shining, and don't settle ever.